You're watching CW Montana. This is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Andrea Lutz. A lot developing in the state of Montana tonight, including this, a prominent Democrat throwing his hat in the ring for governor. We have all of the details of Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney's special run. Plus, the Cascade County Sheriff's Office uncovers a plot involving a dozen of people smuggling drugs into the county jail. But first, Independence Day is just a few hours away, so we're going to tell you how Montanans are preparing. The 4th of July seems to always kick off in every single town with a parade. So we start tonight in Butte, where preparations are underway to get the route ready for a 10 a.m. start time. The Butte America Foundation says this will be the largest parade organized in 3 years, with over 100 floats. And the parade will begin on Harrison Avenue at the Butte Civic Center, and it's going to head south. The theme for this year is Independence.
Wanted to incorporate or ask floats if they were willing to incorporate some sort of dancing into their float. So I imagine there will be a lot of music, a lot of dancing, and a lot of smiling faces.
A lot of good times at the Butte parade there. Well, a cautionary reminder to those lighting off fireworks this year and every year. The loud noises oftentimes scare pets, making them run and get lost. The Humane Society says early July is the busiest time, with animal shelters seeing an influx of lost pets. And pet owners can ease an animal's anxiety by providing a quiet, calm space for them to stay. Make sure they're microchipped. And also remember that pets do probably a little bit better if you are near them.
It is really common that our stray area will fill up fairly quickly after 4th of July with a combination of the scary fireworks and then people kind of being out, doing barbecues, coming in and out of their gates. Dogs just kind of slip out.
All right, well, there's this as well. Areas along the Billings Rim, they're closed as a safety precaution for the 4th of July holiday. So the Billings Fire Department began closing off the areas at 6 o'clock this morning. You can't walk or bike in the closed area. Local law enforcement agencies will have patrols along those closed areas. And the Billings Fire Chief says it's all in an effort to prevent serious incidents. Continuing our coverage of the deadliest June in 10 years on Montana's roads. Tonight, the Montana Department of Transportation is asking people to be extra careful this holiday weekend. Montana averaged 1 death a day on the road since the beginning of June. And MDT says there's no single leading cause for the increase. MDT Director Mike Cooley says that Memorial Day to Labor Day, known as the 100 deadliest days on Montana's roads all year.
People take that task of driving a lot more seriously when it's cold and windy and icy out than they do during the summer when the roads are bare and dry. And so don't take those chances. Do the right thing when you get in the car and you'll arrive safely.
MDT says you can lower the risk of getting in a deadly crash by just following a few simple things: the posted speed limits, being rested and buckling up, and remembering never to drive drunk. Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney is the latest candidate to enter the 2020 race for governor of Montana. Cooney is the 3rd Democrat to enter the race, and it's not the first time he's run for governor. He tried back in 2000, but didn't get out of the Democratic primary. The 64-year-old has been involved in Montana politics since the early 1970s, and he kicked things off in his hometown of Butte.
It's exactly why I am running for governor, to put Montana's health care, education, jobs, public lands first, while putting special interests with their dark money and their narrow agendas in their place.
And 3 prominent Republicans also are in the governor's race already: Attorney General Tim Fox, U.S. Representative Greg Gianforte, and State Senator Al Olszewski of Kalispell. Well, during the 4th of July weekend, Montana's boat inspection sites expect upwards of 2,000 boats all across the state. To help with those inspections today at the Ravalli station, they had a special inspector, Governor Steve Bullock. Bullock says Montana is a shining example of a successful inspection program. He added the Montana program is seen as one of the best in the country in the fight against invasive species.
Just for the Flathead Lake area alone, if mussels ended up getting into that lake, property values could be impacted by $1.5 billion. The beaches that families will be enjoying all weekend long could end up completely corroded with the mussels.
Over 40,000 boats were already inspected this season at 30 watercraft inspection stations all across the state. 16 boats with invasive mussels were intercepted coming in to Montana. Well, the Cascade County Sheriff's Office says more than a dozen people took part in an elaborate scheme to smuggle drugs and contraband into the county jail. That information released today after a nearly month-long investigation, and Sheriff Jesse Slaughter says that this is how it worked. Somebody not in custody would help an inmate bond out of jail first. When the inmate was out, they'd be taken to a location and receive a package. That package was made of either a balloon or something of that sort, a saran wrap item with some illegal items inside of it. Then the person would smuggle the package into jail inside their body by committing a new crime.
We feel that it's a very important safety feature for a facility this large. To be honest with you, we'll probably likely down the road need more than one because of the volume of inmates that we have in our facility.
So those arrested are each facing 3 felony charges now. Well, a shocking twist in a murder case after a 19-year-old Sydney man walked into the Richland County Courthouse and admitted to murder. According to the Sydney Herald, Kyle Severson admitted he shot and killed 20-year-old Tyler Hayden on Tuesday at a gas station in Sydney. Today, Severson faced a judge for the first time, and now his bond is set at $2 million. New details tonight surrounding a homicide in Lewis and Clark County and the search for a black SUV police believe is connected to the investigation. Thomas Ralph Bristow has been arrested and charged with deliberate homicide. He is accused of shooting a person during a drug deal. Now police want folks to be on the lookout for a 2-door 1990 Chevy Blazer. You see it right there on your screen. And you're encouraged to reach out to police if you do see it.
We appreciate the information that you have. If you think you saw something or if you think you know something that happened on Beck Street on Sunday, give us a call.
The suspect's bond is set at $200,000. Authorities have not released the identity of the victim. Author Jon Krakauer is denied access to education records he asked for from the Montana University system. It was in a 4-3 decision that Montana Supreme Justices overturned a lower court ruling granting Krakauer access to redacted records. Krakauer wants access to education records in a 2013 investigation that formed the core of his controversial best-selling book, Missoula, Rape and the Justice System in a College Town. The majority of justices found that the right to privacy overruled the public's right to know. A Polson Elementary School gymnasium that suffered severe damage from a snowstorm in January of 2018 is finally coming down. Demolition on the 1940s era Linderman Elementary Gymnasium. It started just last week. The Polson School District negotiated a settlement with the insurance company to fund the reconstruction of the whole gym complex. The project should be completed in the fall of 2020. Butte's historic Finland Hotel is in the middle of some major upgrades. MTN's John Amy pays a visit.
Owners of Butte's historic Finland Hotel believe now is the right time to invest in the old building.
Butte is ready for investment, and it's ready for a first-class hotel.
Adams and his fellow investors have upgraded the rooms, improved the historic sign, and even plan to add solar panels to this part of the building's roof.
It'll offset about 20% of our energy consumption, of our electric consumption, and we're super excited about it.
The hotel was built in 1924 in the design of the famed Hotel Astor in New York City. It was supposed to have 2 towers, but construction on the second tower was halted when the Depression hit in the 30s. But Adams plans to use that space again.
They're working on a plan to furnish those and bring those into production, or and more than double the size of the historic part of our hotel business.
The owners believe they can bring customers to the Finland by targeting history buffs and millennial travelers.
Millennials are interested in things that are authentic and interesting and weird and right and so we have plans to go after them as well.
With the cost of living rising in cities like Missoula and Bozeman, J.J. Adams believes that more people are willing to come to Butte and invest in the mining city, and that means the future here is looking up.
We think we're at the front of a big wave of people who are going to see the location of Butte, the opportunity in Butte. We think this is a really good and special time to be in Butte.
In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
I bet there's so many vintage, cool pieces of artifact in that hotel. Well, right now there are 24 rooms in the hotel, but they plan to more than double that in the future. Still to come on tonight's MTN 9 o'clock news. So when you go on vacation, you want to sleep tight, not let the bed bugs bite. Unfortunately, that is what happened to a Florida family on a recent trip to Bozeman. We've got that story ahead. But first, hey, Rob, how's the weather looking out there?
Thanks, Andrea. Yeah, we've had more busy weather across the state to talk about, so we'll take a complete look at the statewide forecast going into the 4th of July. It's coming up in just a little bit.